Well, good morning. Today is Monday, the 22nd, and I'm starting to get my voice back, which is good. Um, Been sick all weekend. Today we find ourselves, today's reading would be chapter 13, Genesis 13. Yesterday's was chapter 12, and I'm gonna be a day behind all this week because chapter 12 is so significant. As I had mentioned several times last week, chapters 1 through 11 of Genesis is a word that means the beginnings, the book of beginnings. And so chapters 1 through 11, we see so many of the foundational truths laid out for us, starting with the creation, the institution of marriage, the fall, the sin entering into the world, the curse, the first gospel, Genesis 3:15, the promise of this, that the seed of the woman would crush the seed of the serpent's head. We see the beginning of the conflict, the enmity between the seed of the woman and the seed of man. We see it fleshed out in chapter 4 with Cain slaying Abel. We see that man rebels against God, and every intent of his heart is wicked continually. God determines to destroy man from off the face of the earth, but Noah finds grace in the sight of the Lord. Chapter 6, we see then that for 120 years Noah built the ark while God patiently waited. And then the flood came. We saw God preserved Noah and his family through the flood. They come out of the ark. They replenish the earth. We saw that sin continued even after the flood because of the wickedness in man's heart, inherent from the fall. We saw the Tower of Babel, where man determined to build a temple unto the heavens. God confounded the languages, scattered man throughout the earth. And then we saw the generations of Noah and his descendants. That brings us up to chapter 12. And here we see a transition. In chapter 12, we see that God again is dealing with the seed of the woman, and we see how that seed is going to be traced through Abram, who is called by God. And that's what we're going to read about today in chapter 12. It says, "Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Now, that's not just a generic term. How will all the nations of the earth be blessed? It's because through Abram's seed will come the one who will come to take away the sin of the world, Jesus, the Messiah. Verse 4. "So Abram went, as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired in Haran, and they set out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, Abram passed through the land to the place at Shechem, to the oak of Moreh, At that time the Canaanites were in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. From there he moved to the hill country, to the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel to the east and with Bethel to the west and Ai to the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed on, still going toward the Negeb. Now there was a famine in the land. So Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. And when he was about to enter Egypt, he said to Sarai his wife, "I know that you are a woman beautiful in appearance. And when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Say you are my sister, that it may go well with me because of you, and that my life may be spared for your sake." Then Abram entered Egypt. The Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. And when the princes of Pharaoh saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And for her sake he dealt well with Abram. And he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female donkeys, and camels. But the Lord afflicted Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go." And Pharaoh gave men orders concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Okay. So this is the call of Abram. What do we know about Abram? We know he was a man who lived in the land of Shinar, modern day Iraq. Ur of the Chaldees. He lived in a place near where the Euphrates flows into the water, the sea there. And he was a pagan worshiper. But God appeared to him. God spoke to him. He said, "Abram, I want you to get up from where you are." Excuse me. "And go to a land that I will show you." Now, you really have to think about this. You really have to think about this man's 75 years old. All right. And he's told by God to pack up your bags, load up all your belongings like the Beverly Hillbillies, and move to California. I mean, he just pack up your things and go to a land that I will show you. He doesn't even, there's no map. There's no, tourist flyers of showing, the beautiful scenery or what you have, where I'm taking you. Nothing. Just the word of the Lord. Now you think about that. And then think about the fact that he had to go tell his wife, Sarah, "Go pack your bags. We're leaving." Well, imagine that conversation. Okay. Where are we going? I don't know. Just we're going where the Lord shows us. But what about all of our family and friends here? God told me to leave. Who told you? I mean, just try to imagine. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Whatever this crud is, I'll be glad when it's over. Just think about this. This was a huge step of faith. I know some people like to describe faith as a blind leap in the dark. It wasn't that. What it was it was taking God at his word. That God was going to lead him and take him to a land, and that he was going to bless him, and that his descendants would be a blessing to the whole world. Now, mind you, Abram had no children at this time. Sarai was barren. She was beautiful, but she was no spring chicken either. She was past childbearing age. I mean, this whole thing, from a human perspective, from a worldly perspective, just seems crazy. But Abram believed God. He packs up his bag. He gets his son-in-law, or his nephew, Lot, comes with him. Maybe I don't. What was Lot thinking? Maybe he just like, oh, I just need a fresh start. I just want to go somewhere else. Let's see. I'll go with Uncle Abram. Wherever he's going, sounds good. So he gets up. He follows Abram. They go to the land of Canaan, and what happens? They get there. The Canaanites are there. They were evil. They were pagans. They were violent. And there's a famine. Now, Abram had the faith to take God at his word and go to Canaan. But then adversity strikes. And instead of inquiring of the Lord, instead of trusting God to provide for him there in Canaan, he goes down to Egypt. He goes down to Egypt, and then he tells his wife to lie because he's afraid. He's afraid that Pharaoh is going to see his wife, take his wife, and kill him. So he goes from having the faith to trust God to take him to a place he doesn't even know anything about, to convince his wife and family to follow him. They get there, there's hardship, there's some adversity, and instead of trusting God, he goes down to Egypt. Now let's just think about this for a minute. How do we apply this to our life? What can we learn and apply to our life in this situation? Well, first of all, we see the faith of Abram, right? He didn't have to have all the answers to trust God, to follow the Lord. And I'll just tell you, I've been there. It's scary. It's scary when you're not in control, and you just have to put yourself in God's hands. I can relate to the man in the New Testament who comes to the Lord Jesus asking for healing of his son, and he says, I believe, help thou my unbelief. I got a little faith. Boy, I've got a lot of doubts too. I'm scared. I understand that. I can relate, can't you? But Abram trusts God. He goes to Canaan, and then once the difficulty comes upon him, the famine, instead of turning to the Lord, looking to the Lord, depending on the Lord, He takes matters into his own hands, goes down to Egypt, lies, doesn't trust God. He gets himself into a pickle. And that's just like us, isn't it? Isn't that what we do a lot of times? When we try to deal with our problems in our own way, we usually make a bigger problem. That's what I get out of this. I get out of this, one, that I see and admire the faith of Abram to trust God. But I also see that even in the midst of trusting God, he doesn't do it consistently. And in a way, I'm really thankful that the Word of God shows us this. Because it doesn't put Abram up on such a high pedestal. It's like, you know what? Abram was just like you and me. He was just a man, flawed, fearful, one minute having great faith, the next minute, oh, that Pharaoh's going to kill me and take you. You really think God brought him all the way from Ur of Chaldees, around the Fertile Crescent, down into the land of Canaan, just to let him be killed by Pharaoh? No. But that's where we have to trust the one who holds tomorrow. And we have to know that even though we might be in a tight spot right this minute, and those of you who know me and know where I am at, you know, I kind of know what that's like. And so we need to just pray that God, give me the faith to trust you every day. I'm reminded of what my friend Jeff Carpenter says often. I'm not driving, I'm just riding. I'm not steering this ship, God is. And so I have to trust him to steer the ship through the reef, around the obstacles, to guide my steps, to guide my path, and provide for me along the way. And even though I may not understand how he's going to do that, I do believe that he will. I believe. Help thou mine unbelief. Through Abram, who would become Abraham, the father of the nations, all the nations of the world will be and were and are blessed, because Jesus, the Messiah, is a son of Abraham. That's all I have for today. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you again tomorrow.